Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Mastery and we'll be continuing on the Teamfight Adventures campaign. Since I have to beat this adventure with a Ionian champion, I figured I should use the one that's my weakest one. That way we'll have a decent amount of challenge when facing off against these encounters, or disadventures encounters. Okay, that seems normal. That seems normal too. I figured they wouldn't give these encounters the upgraded or the harder versions of their decks yet, so yeah, this should be easy enough. I don't think I've changed anything. I'm still running Archangel stuff on Mastery and Troll King's Crusher. A Troll King's Crusher, yes. The Overwhelm helps us close out the game with Mastery, and we care about our spellcasting, so extra spell mana is always good. Pair of 4s, when you play a 4-cost unit, summon a different 4-cost unit from your deck. We don't have multiple 4-costs. When an ally survives damage with exactly one health, fully heal it. Nope. If you have no units, gain a mana gem. That is interesting. We can skip our first turn and ramp up to 4. Nah. We don't want to skip turns. All allies have the same random keyword. Create a champion duplicator in hand. We can get multiple masteries. Nah, I feel like mutant might be better. We can get some high roll or some really nice high rolls, maybe impact, lifesteal. Something along those lines would be great. Let's toss all of these. Okay, this is a good start. We don't draw mastery naturally because we're not at 40 yet. When any player has 3 or more copies of a unit in hand, they discard all but one and double its stats. The foe creates a copy of a unit in hand. Right, so that means he had 2 Buhuru cultists in hand at the start of the game and then he generated one. This is a bit unfortunate. What are the odds that the opponent has a weapon to equip to the Buhuru cultist? I'd say they're pretty high.
The lesson begins.
The weak don't deserve mercy.
Maybe not. I was considering whether or not I play Mastery or if I go Vastayan Disciple Rush to trade into the Buhuru cultist. As it turns out, I could have gone for the Vastayan Disciple Buhuru cultist or Rush. Let's just do this. Try and cast 2 spells. This way we proc blow at the start of the next turn. We are going to end up wasting our spell mana, unfortunately.
Come on, I'll take you all on.
But it's fine. We have options. Twin Disciplines. We want to cast the Twin Disciplines on our blockers, definitely. Can I afford to go for the Disciple of Doran? If only the Meditate wasn't that expensive. I'm going for the Disciple of Doran.
Doran would be proud of you.
Okay. That's a frightening board. Let's see what the opponent does. Yep, I figured as much. Let's try to survive this. to the best of our ability.
Purge the impurities.
Okay. We're surviving. Let's mitigate as much damage as possible.
Purge the impurities.
We don't exactly have a lot of regeneration, at least not yet. And we don't naturally have healing in the deck, so we might end up needing to preserve our health total as much as possible. Well, at least I don't have to worry about removal, because the keyword we got this game was spell shield.
One cut of many.
This is lethal. Okay, it's no longer lethal. Maybe we can get there with this.
A clear mind.
+3, +2, +3.
A quiet spirit.
Nice.
Hope lives in the edge of my blade.
That was rough for a first encounter. We ended up losing half our health. To be fair, the opponent high rolled a bit and immediately dropped a 4/4 on turn 1. It's not exactly the easiest thing to deal with. Recall Emperor's Prosperity, Station Archivist. None of these are that appealing. The draw is nice, but I think I'd rather have something that impacts the board. So I'm going to reroll these. Twin Disciplines on my deck by default. I'm going to pick these up with the hope that we can get some items on them, so that way we buff the ones we get off of our power as well. All of these seem pretty bad, but Vladimir allows us to regenerate some health at least. Nah, that's not realistic. Let's reroll. Something that synergizes with spells would be better. None of these synergize with spells. Guess we're picking up Diana. Yeah, for a moment I considered Warwick, but no. Diana might just be better. Just because the Pale Cascade is a good spell. And Targon gives us access to more to healing. That is if we survive the next encounter. I guess Arbiter of the Peak. Both the encounters have overwhelm units, so I guess I just had to go for the one that seemed the easiest. Let's hope we high roll and the opponent doesn't. This seems like a decent enough start. We can go Mastery Diana.
Constellations are stories in the sky.
Embrace the night.
Regeneration is not the best keyword,
Face your heretic.
but it's better than nothing. Unfortunate part is that I have no spells in hand. That's going to end up screwing me in the long run. That's a spell. And we can drop down the Disciple of Doran for another spell.
Strength of the spirit yields a stronger blade.
Doran would be proud, Liu.
Heat the metal.
Let's block here, block here. We're going to do this in order to preserve our mastery. While at the same time we minimize the amount of damage taken. And you know what, let's drop down the Bastine Disciple as well. At least this way we have
Healing is all.
it on board in order to attack next turn.
A clear mind.
And all of my units have I guess mastery doesn't have elusive, but I don't think it's necessary for mastery to have elusive.
Be a story.
Yeah, the opponent's in Targon.
I thought they said this
The only
was
way
a
he would
challenge.
be in danger was if the opponent had some sort of buff for his units,
Calm mind and
which
open
apparently he
heart
didn't,
with the night.
so we're fine.
The stars have so much to tell us.
And now we just hope we survive the next turn. I think if we survive this turn we have a decent shot at winning. We even hit the deep meditation, that's huge.
I'll tell a story.
Now we get some nice some more spells to cast. Let's play the Disciple of Doran first.
Spirit healed a stronger
Get a
Doran would be proud.
even board with the opponent. Oh no. Do we have something in our deck that prevents that from happening? Not really. So those attacks, so at least two of the opponent's attackers are going through.
sharpening edges.
Not ideal. But I might be fine. Let's let him attack.
Everyone okay?
Okay. He decided not to compromise his Mountain Scryer. He probably thinks his victory is dependent on whether or not the Mountain Scryer stays alive. That's perfect for me. Because that way I only take 3 damage.
I did my best.
Now we can hold this for next turn.
A calm heart.
I'm pretty sure we can just kill the opponent here. That's Twin Disciplines, the Mastery. Attack with all of my units. And I'm going to let the opponent answer first before I commit anything else.
Approaches.
That's nothing. The opponent wasted his entire mana pool on a buff for a card that won't even see play.
Honed and sharp.
Ooh. That was a significantly better performance. Even though the earlier part of the game was a bit rougher because we didn't have access to any spells to play. Let's see if we can remedy that by cutting a card from my deck here at this healer encounter. Ebb is slow, but it's a spell, so sure. Let's cut the Cygnus, definitely. It's just not good enough. Ebb has +6 chimes in random cards in your deck. Now that it's spells and skills, yeah. I was just not remembering that. So maybe Solaris Sandhawk is a good pickup. I'm definitely picking up the Reunited just because one extra attack might matter. And I suppose I'll pick up another item for the app since we're going to be playing it. Stargazer, Honest Croupier. Each round, the first time a player creates a card, the foe creates a fleeting 0-cost copy of it. Yeah, we definitely don't want to face this guy. He's basically going to get all the buffs we create, but there is 0 cost, so we can play them for free, and we can't. We actually have to pay for them. Oh. The opponent starts with extra mana. That's rough. And he even starts with a challenger unit. I have to pass the turn until the opponent attacks. Ooh, we hit lifesteal. That's a high roll.
The strength of the spirit yields a stronger blade.
Doran would be proud, too.
That's a very significant high roll. Let's attack like so. We can just do this. That kills the mountain goat. Let's give our Disciple of Doran lifesteal and +3 attacks, so it kills the Broadback Protector. And this way we heal back up to full and we deny the Spring Gifts the opponent has in hand, because he won't have damaged units to play.
Oh, you're all so cute.
He started up the Star Shepherd, but unfortunately for him, it's not relevant. The unfortunate part is we don't get to proc flow here. But do we even need to proc flow?
Of many.
Osu, help!
Because we can just do this. There's one of his units gone. Is this enough to level up? Yes, it's enough to level up Mastery. Perfect. I'm fine with taking this game a little bit slower, because the opponent isn't really putting on that much of a threat, or isn't really being that much of a threat. I should have buffed up the Disciple of Doran. Now the opponent's going to have a Star Shepherd that has 1 HP. It's fine.
Each strike spells a new legacy.
I want to play the Lunari Priestess to generate a card for us.
We're all family here.
Yes, he gets to
We look after
buff
our
up
own.
the Star Shepherd and the other Star Shepherd, but I still feel we're in a better position than the opponent.
Blade and body.
He says he's glad to see you, grandfather.
Uh-oh.
And you too, Osu.
That's a problem. I guess we hit the ebb. And we try to hit something. Not the opponent's Nexus. That's the opposite of what I wanted to hit. But we're not dying here. Let's do this. We're going to do this. Alright, it only procs on non-fleeting spells. Whatever. We'll do this. We're going to trade into that unit. We only take 5 damage. And we're fine. We can even heal Mastery. We remove the spell shield on that thing, so it's easier to kill next turn.
Alpha strike. Blade and body.
In fact, I'm pretty sure Mastery just,
Form before
yeah, kills one. Sets up a kill on another, perhaps. I want to go for the Cosmic Inspiration though. Let's go River Shaper Cosmic Inspiration.
Even from afar, I saw
He started up the Stargazer, but I'm not worried.
Stars in your absence, grandfather.
one cut.
Can do this. In fact, we can do this and just kill him if he doesn't have an answer.
Strike.
Okay, hitting lifesteal from the mutate was what saved this game. Otherwise I would have died to the grandfather attack turn. I would have been unable to survive the bunch of damage I just took there. Messenger's Sigil is interesting. It's a cheap spell. And it's not like messengers are bad cards, right? Let's make the best out of a bad pool of choices. Ooh. We only got offered a single choice, but it's a very good choice. Now our mastery is extremely hard to kill. What do I want to cut? We haven't played Wing Singer a single time. And that's a problem. because it's probably the worst card in my deck. Let's cut it. We can get something else to replace the wing singer. Something that actually synergizes with our game plan of spellcasting and buffing the units that are on our board. Now, for once, we don't start with Mastery in our opening hand. I think I want to keep River Shaper Rush. Just because that allows us to draw for free, basically. And gets us through our deck a bit faster. When you activate another Nightfall, give me Challenger this run or Nightfall. We can just drop down Diana as a 2-2 quick attack. 3-2 actually. Attack like this. Deal 6 to the opponent. Now the problem is that Zoe does have the focusing crystal.
I'm ready to take the first step.
Let's go gambling. Let's see if we hit the 1 in 4 on the Zoe. Okay, Mastery definitely. We don't hit the 1 in 4 to kill the Zoe. That's unfortunate. Let's protect the Diana. We are going to proc the flow next turn. We did cast the spells here.
Let us see if you are
If one gets to generate a bunch of spells though, that's going to buff up Zoe by a whole lot. But
no more lies.
I might be able to bait him into blocking with the Zoe. He only has 3 mana. What are the odds the opponent has an answer at burst speed for 3 mana? Yeah, figured that would happen. That's why I have this and this. Now both the opponent's units die, just like I planned. Uh-oh, he just started up a Grandfather Rommel. And this time around I don't have lifesteal, so that damage is going to stick. So instead I have to go ahead and deal with that in another way. Maybe try and close out the game as quickly as possible.
A calm heart.
Depends on what the opponent does here. I kind of want him to attack. Let's protect the Mastery. Okay, he just passes the turn instead. That is an interesting decision. Grandfather Rommel comes down on turn 8. Or when the opponent has 8 mana, I should say.
Night descends.
This might kill the opponent, depending on how the opponent blocks. Okay, the opponent blocks in a way that does allow him to survive. Maybe I can actually buff up Mastery to the point where I just kill the opponent. I do have a lot of these twin disciplines. I didn't do the math, but yeah. Now the only way this opponent survives is if he has healing. Or a silence on the Mastery would work too.
Honed and sharp.
What form will the waters take?
Nice.
Our opponent
We managed to close out the game before the opponent's larger threats came down. This is going surprisingly well. After that first encounter, I thought we would struggle a lot throughout this entire run, but it's being a lot better than I anticipated. Round end, if your back row is full, gain a mana gem. Created champion duplicator in hand. If you have no units, gain a mana gem. We are skipping our first turn a decent amount, and we're never really at the point where we have a full back row. So maybe Clear Mind is better. I know I did pass it up on our first offer, but I feel like it might put in work here from now on. Mystifying Magician, the Messenger. I want an extra power. Round start, the foe transforms their weakest unit into a random follower that costs 3 more. Well, I just have to keep the board clear, and the opponent won't be able to use his power. That's what an optimist would think. We won't actually get to proc our power, the Clear Mind, because we now draw Mastery pretty consistently. But Mastery as a crystal carrier, so it's basically the same thing. Does the damage stick, I wonder? We'll test it out. Since Mastery takes no damage from the opponent's unit. It appears no. It's fine. We can do this. Let's drop down Diana. We are going to be able to trade into the opponent's unit. Unless the opponent decides to not attack. There we go. It was just waiting for me to play my free spell. What he doesn't realize is that I have another spell in hand. So now I get to protect the Mastery like this. While at the same time trading into the opponent's units. Now the unfortunate part is that I have run out of spells to cast. Never mind, we drew a River Shaper. We're saved. Wait, burst speed double trouble. That's very good. The opponent has a very scary card in his deck. Out of nowhere.
Hope lives in the edge of my blade.
What form will the waters take?
Ooh, perfect. We definitely need card draw. And now we get to keep our float chain going into the next turn. Ooh, that's a low roll for the opponent. I think we have the game from here. I mean, sure, the opponent might be able to attack into us with, and we won't be able to block 2 units. Okay, never mind. The opponent just shows defeat instead. Let's do this. Now it's even harder for the opponent to block with the Mastery. He just takes the loss. Wait, he doesn't take the loss. I thought for sure we would deal enough damage to the opponent. I guess I was wrong.
Daylight fades and dusk soothes. As the moon rises, quiet reflection begins.
Well, in that case, let's just play a few spells and keep the chain going. The opponent's getting a very high cost unit, mostly because he refuses to attack or defend with any of his units.
Always more to discover.
Yeah, let's protect our units. We have a lot of spells in hand. We can afford to do this. Let's see what the opponent does from here. He still refuses to attack. Why? Now you're just dead on board. Like Mastery alone can kill you. I don't understand the opponent's decisions throughout this entire game. Well, it's his loss, I suppose.
Form will the waters take?
When they put a power a reward behind a regular encounter, I figured, oh, this guy must be very tough, especially if he doesn't even need the vicious enemy power in order to pose a threat, but it turns out there were no threats found here. Maybe the opponent just low rolled. Crowd Pleaser. Create a new 2-cost spell in hand. Shared Mana Flow. Yeah, both these are good. We get to keep our spell chain going. And we get to start the game with more mana. What's not to love about that? Now this is an actual threat. This one too, but we're going for the one that I have an actual chance at beating. The opponent might capture my units, but at the very least I'll be able to free them right afterwards. All I have to do is buff up the units I'll play right afterwards. No mastery. Let's drop down the River Shaper. Yeah, that happens. And I think I have to let it happen because I want to keep the River Shaper around. Do I want to play the Mastery? Let's play the Mastery.
Restore this legacy is my greatest honor.
Okay, that... Oh! We got Spell Shield from the Mutate, which means Spell Shield is an auto effect, which means the opponent has no way to remove the Spell Shield from my units. Incredible. We can buff up that to 6, 9, yeah, we have enough to buff that up to 10. Same thing with the Mastery.
Of many.
So yeah, let's attack with both. This way we release one of the opponent, or one of the units the opponent has captured.
A gift from the river folk.
It's a bit unlucky the opponent started up his fleet, hunting fleet, because I had no answer to that on the first turn.
Bounties pay.
Fortunately we managed to come back from it. Crowd Pleaser, definitely. Oh, I was expecting a hit on this sheriff, so that way it ended up being a lesser threat.
The strength of the spirit yields
I suppose we can't have everything. Oh, the prank might actually be a problem.
This road
It
has
does
full
throw a wrench in my plans. I wanted to use this and this. I suppose I can still do that, except this time around I won't have enough mana to play with the ebb and flow right afterwards, so we don't get full value out of that spell. Oh, the opponent started up another unit. This is a problem. I kind of wanted to release one of my units from the opponent's units. Creating a cat and mirage in hand. Yep.
a broken
I want something the opponent, or something that the opponent might want to block.
Voodoo style.
It's fine. Perfect. That blocks the Acatian Mirage, which means I get the unit back.
Each strike spells a new legacy.
It would be terrible if I didn't have enough units to block the opponent's attack right after he captures my units. That's why I wanted to release a unit that was captured so badly.
I don't do meditation
fledgling child flailing his arms.
But we're fine. The opponent won't even be able to properly do damage this turn. So, while we did take some damage, we haven't even procced our revive. Which means we're in a great position to take on Misfortune.
Form before blade and body.
Does he have an answer? No. Perfect.
Our opponent was worthy, but inferior.
Do I want to cut something in the healer encounter? That's a very good question. I feel like our deck is extremely consistent. I definitely want the Unspeakable Horror. We have enough masteries as is. This is tempting. I can cut the Swole Squirrel maybe. Maybe cut the Twin Disciplines. We never managed to find an item to put on them. We don't really have a lot of units. Yeah, let's get the Twin Disciplines that are already in my deck. And then for this Healer encounter, yeah, let's take the healing. I feel like if we cut our Soul Squirrel, we'll end up with not enough units to make the deck work. Then again, we haven't really been playing this Swole Squirrel a lot. It's fine. Let's keep this and toss the Deep Meditation. We'll just go... I was thinking of going Mastery and pass. Then next turn we play Disciple of Doran. But with the Vastine Disciple on board, that might change things up a bit. What's the keyword we got off of the mutate? We don't know because we don't have a unit on board, okay. Do we want to risk the mastery? Sure.
Let us see if you are worthy.
You've got dangerous eyes.
We got
I like that.
Yuri.
Not just the eyes, you know.
Interesting. Well, let's attack with the mastery. That probably baits the Misfortune into blocking so we can do this and trade favorably with her.
I never miss.
And now we can go for the Twin Disciplines. And now we start proccing flow. Oh, we started up something. Unfortunately, I can't see what it was. It was a Misfortune. That's an unfortunate high roll. I'm going to toss the Lunari Priestess in front of the Misfortune as a jump blocker. Alright, Mastery unfortunately has vulnerable, so it dies here. It takes 1 from the love tap, 2 from the love tap in fact, so not even Twin Discipline saves him.
I know you're
Can make this attack fizzle, and we can make the mastery trade into the Misfortune. I suppose that's good enough because that's 2 Misfortunes gone from his hand, and with 2 Misfortunes gone from his hand,
The journey to mastery begins with
he
humility.
probably, and one that we removed prior, he probably doesn't have another Misfortune to follow up. Oh, and we get a crowd pleaser, so we might be able to...
Blue, your helmet doesn't work. I can't see anything.
Perhaps you
I was about to say we might be able to draw into another mastery. Never mind, we drew into a Diana instead. Ouch. We're taking a lot of damage off of the bird. It's fine. These Dianas are going to help me stabilize a bit. Just pull here. We pull here. The opponent will have to block the Disciple of Doran with Boro, obviously. He only has one card in hand. I can refuel next turn with the Time Trick. And Deep Meditation too, I suppose. Let's do this.
Opening a test.
Ooh, Unspeakable Horror. Perfect. More card draw. Exactly what I needed. And now with all these Twin Disciplines in hand, we can safely use our units to block
Feels better than the sun on
all of those Journeying Sandhoppers.
They will not outrun us.
Ooh. That does hurt a bit though. Now my units... I guess I'll just trade the Disciple of Doran if he attacks. I'll trade the Disciple of Doran. And fizzle this attack.
Ignorant brawl.
Unfortunately Diana dies here. It's unfortunately exactly enough damage. I can take the 7. Let's heal up the Diana. Unfortunately, the Unspeakable Horror didn't give me that great of a card. It's fine, we'll just draw something good here. Could be worse. Let's do Reverse Shaper.
land and give it life.
We attack with both of these. Yep, he prologues the Reverse Shaper, but I have a combat trick to kill the opponent's unit.
What form will the waters take?
Another Unspeakable Horror. I'll save that for next turn. The opponent is saving... appears to be saving
Magic.
Journeying Sandhopper, so he only... or one Journeying Sandhopper, so he always has a unit to be copied by his power.
Blind me with resplendence, but they could not break me.
Ouch. Never mind. He just spent his entire hand to be left with a board that's pretty unimpressive.
Daylight fades and dusk soothes. As the moon rises, quiet reflection begins.
Let's see, how do I want to do this?
Defiance is our way.
Let's save the Journeying Sandhopper or the River Shaper. I think I want to... well, this thing is dying no matter what. Oh right, love tap deals 1 to everything. Forgot about that part. I guess we have to go either all in on saving the Journeying Sandhopper or all in keeping control of the board, and I value the control of the board a bit more.
Cool. A gift from the river folk. Waters are... What form will the waters take?
Oh, now we have full hand of spells. And we draw Mastery. So there's no way we lose now.
Blade and mine, honed and sharp.
Oh,
To restore this
I didn't
legacy
know that.
is my greatest honor.
I guess it only says allied masteries have 12 plus damage. It doesn't need the masteries to stay alive. Good to know.
Tidings from the sky.
How do I want to do this? Let's do Ebb to generate Twin Disciplines. Then we'll attack with everything.
Fool do not doubt.
Can we kill the opponent here? Unfortunately, I don't think so. Draw 1. Actually, yeah, we can kill the opponent here. Nice. No need to keep this game going any longer, because we have already secured the victory.
Opponent was worthy, but inferior.
That was a lot closer than I wanted it to be. Well, I suppose the first encounter did set the tone for this adventure. We got there, but we did take some losses along the way. It was still satisfying though. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.